What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Psybient. We're going to listen to a tune from 2016. It's a tune by Zero Cult. I'm trying to remember the name of the album it's on. Closer Than Ever. And this is on Cosmicleaf. Shout out to Cosmicleaf. And the track we're going to listen to is Penetration. I was listening to one of my Ambient Excursions from many years back, which is already in the Ambient Excursion playlist on YouTube. I forget what mix number it is, but it's in a Sunbeam. And yeah, this is one of the tracks in that mix, and when it was playing when I was working on the computer the other day, I was like, man, this really is a brilliant tune. So yeah, what I like about this track is it's a heavier percussive Psybient track. I think of it as down-tempo. One of my friends, I remember when he heard it, was like, oh, it's almost like a dubstep tune. I suppose dubstep is a genre that emerged after my first several years of going to rave parties. It's not a genre that like I have as much experience with or that I see as nostalgically because, again, it came a little bit later than my, golden old school days of raving. But I have heard some dubstep tunes I like, and I do suppose I understand why one could hear that in this, though to me it still just sounds like down-tempo Psybient, with some percussive oomph to it. But it also has this really epic middle section with a great breakdown and this ethereal female vocal, which leads into this climbing synth melody. So I just love the way the track unfolds and the way that, like, book-ended wise, it's a heavy thumping tune, but it has this middle section that's, very typical soaring type of Psybient. So not typical in the sense that it's, generic, but typical in the sense that when I think of Psybient, I think of tunes that are very melodic and uplifting and euphoric in terms of like the atmospheric sound. This one has a bit different of a vibe, but then it still gets to that place. So in any case, let's listen. This is a track by Zero Cult. It's from an album called Closer Than Ever, which is from 2016 on Cosmicleaf, and the tune specifically is called Penetration. That vocal sounds like it could be in a Blaze tune. Electric bass is like rattling the track. First time I heard this track, this part caught my ear. I was like, oh, wait, what? Yeah. That meandering melody, which now has expanded. the mix, I can just hear Sagan right here. Like it or not, Earth is where we make our stand. Wicker basket, that wicked, harder synth melody is coming back. Now it's everything. It's the euphoric float and the hard, like, stomping grid. How it cleans it up there. And all the while in the background, that ethereal, sort of otherworldly tune. Yeah, it is fun to go back through the Ambient Excursion mixes because so many of them were made during a very concentrated, like, 2-year period. Now, like, almost a decade ago, not quite. They were all, like, most of them are from, like, 2014 to 2016, or, like, 2017. But yeah, ultimately several years ago now. And so, you know, you make more than 100 mixes, or a couple hundred mixes. Indeed, there's, like, I don't know how many got blocked, and I just, you know, I'd have to cut them up too significantly to, like, really warrant doing that. But there's, like, maybe 50 mixes that got blocked by YouTube, so there should be close to, like, 200 or so on YouTube. But again, we're up to, I think, what, 125 now, 126? Either way, you listen to some of these old mixes, like, holy smokes, not only do I not really remember making this mix, but number one, I like that I used that sample set. Number two, I don't even remember this tune. I gotta look up the track list. Like, who is this? This is one that I did remember, but, you know, like, until you listen to a mix, you know, from years back, you know, you don't recall certain things. So it's a track that, like, once it started, is like, oh man, I gotta react to this, and, you know, I didn't have to go look it up. But it's a tune I hadn't thought about in a while, because I, you know, hadn't listened to that mix. And I do, over the course of my ambient excursions, try to make sure I'm not repeating too many tracks. Now, techno and, like, trance mix, I have some favorites, and they'll show up in, you know, a half dozen of my mixes or whatever. But Psybient, I've tried to be diligent about not repeating too often.